Hi friends, welcome back to Kids Club Crochet. I'm Tanya and I'm excited today to share with you this new project that we're going to do. We've learned a lot in Kids Club Crochet so far. We've learned about the basic stitches that you need. The chain stitch, the single crochet, the double crochet, half double, triple or treble, however you want to call it, crochet. We've learned all these different stitches along the way, and so now we get to do some fun projects where we take a lot of these different stitches that we've learned, we put them together into one project, and who knows what we'll create. As I'm recording this, we're in the fall, so I'm like, I'd really love to do some fall crafts in crocheting with you guys. So what I've come up with is a little garland, and I've got 3 different leaves on this garland, and we're going to learn how to crochet each one of these leaves. Let us head down and look at the supplies, look at the projects, and get started crocheting the leaves together.
All right, so let's start with our first crochet leaf that we're going to do in the project. And for that, we're going to need our hook, a needle. This is going to help us. You can have a plastic one, I have a metal one. This one has a little bent end, it doesn't matter, it can be straight, but a yarn needle. And this is for weaving in the ends once we finish the leaf. And then of course we'll need some yarn and some scissors. Alrighty, so we've got all our supplies. We're going to work on this little leaf right here. This is a really simple leaf shape, and it's going to go by really quick. I think you're going to like it. It does like to curl up, which I think is kind of cute. It's, leaves in nature, when they start to get dry, they do crinkle up a little bit, and so I think that's fun. I'm also going to do this in just different colors. You can see that I've chosen 2 different greens. I've got this burgundy, light burgundy color, and then an orange. I've got bluish teal color that I'm going to use here in a moment. These are fall leaves. You can do them to traditional fall leaf colors, or you can do them in whatever colors you want for your fall decor or just to give to a friend, whatever you want to do. Now, when I say fall decor, let's talk about that for just a second. I made mine on a little string here. I just strung them up so that I can have them as a little garland. This one also makes a great coaster for a beverage. So if you wanted to put a cup on there, you could totally do that. I'm looking around to see if I have a cup anywhere, and I don't. But you could set a cup on there. It would make a nice little coaster for the fall. So that'd be a nice gift to give someone. This is a little small for a coaster, but maybe a doll's coaster. I don't know. But decor, that's what I would talk about for decor. Now, how else can you use decor? You could use decor as you could attach this and hang it on a notebook. You could just have it hanging on the end of a notebook, like a spiral notebook. You could attach it onto one of those spiral rings. You could decorate, if you have lockers at your school, you could decorate the inside of your locker with a leaf. Lots of ideas, and I'm sure that you guys have far more creative ideas about what you could do with these leaves. So let's get started with this one right here. So I'm going to move all this aside, and got my yarn, and we're going to start by a chain stitch. Now you'll remember from our very first video, and if you haven't watched it, please go back and watch that first video on the chain stitch. That is the foundation for crocheting. And so if you have any questions about how to do that, how I start, you'll want to go back and watch that very first video. I've got it linked below, and learn how to do that chain stitch. So first off, I'm going to cast on here, get my little slip knot going, and I'm ready to start my chain. And for this one, I'm going to chain. I'm looking at my pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to start with 11 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And you can always go back and count. And I'm looking at my V's here. You can see that makes a V. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm skipping this first one. I'm turning it over. And I'm looking at the back. And on the back, I've got these little bumps right down the middle. And I'm going to crochet into those bumps. And you'll see why in a little bit, why we want to do that. Let me show you back on this guy. You see this line that goes right down the middle? We're creating that line by the way that we stitch our next stitches here. So I'm going to go into, not this one right here, but the next one. And I'm going to go in with a single crochet. There's a video on single crochet. It's down below in the links. So that's one single crochet. Now I'm going to go into the next one with a half double. Remember, a half double, we loop over, we go in, and then we pull through all 3 loops that are on their hook. And then I'm going to go in for a double crochet. So that's going to be pull 1 loop through, and now I'm going to pull it through 2. Going to loop over and pull through 2. So that's my double crochet. I've got videos on all of these down below, all the different stitches, and we did projects with each. Now I'm going to do a triple or treble crochet. I'm going to go in, and I looped over twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through the last 2. I'm going to do that 2 more times. I added 2 loops onto my needle. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. One more time. My yarn ball's trying to attack me here. Loop over twice into the back, that back loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. All right, so far I did a single crochet, a half double, a double, and then 3 triple or treble crochets. Now I'm going to go back down the way that I started. So the next one will be a double, then a half double, then a single. So let's do that. Double crochet is next. Again, we're working in this back loop. So we've got double, half double, and then a single. All right, so you see I made that one side of it, and it made this arch. And you see I'm already trying to curl. So you see I've got that arch shape. And that's because we started with a single, and then we increased from a single to a half double, a double, triple, 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 then a double again, a half double, and a single. So then we've got 1 stitch left down here. We're going to end it off with a slip stitch. And a slip stitch is just going in, pulling through, and then pulling all the way the rest of the way through. We don't loop over on a slip stitch. Okay, so we've done that side, completed it. Now I'm going to turn, and this time I'm going to work, you see the V's that I've got here? I'm going to work in the back stitch, and when I do that, it's going to leave this right here exposed and make that ridge right down the middle of the leaf. While I'm doing this, I'm going to try to crochet this tail into that stitch. The first thing that I need to do is I'm going to do a single crochet, and you can see it's where I did that single crochet before is right there, and I want to mirror it, okay? So we're going to go in this stitch right here. So again, we're not going in this very first stitch that I see, but in the second one, okay? Gets a little fiddly with this guy, but we're going to get it. So not that one, but this one. I'm going in the back, and I'm pulling through, and then I'm pulling through again, okay? And I'm just tucking this in as I go. I'm going to do a half double, so that's loop over, go in that back stitch, pull through, loop over, and pull through all three at once. And we're going to do a double crochet, so I'm going to go in that back loop. I looped over, go in that back loop, and I'm going to pull through, and I'm going to pull through 2 and pull through 2. Now I'm going to do 3 triple or trebles, so that's loop over twice, go in that back loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Let's do that 2 more times. One last time, looped over twice into the back loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now we're going to start going down. So we're going to do the double crochet this time. Loop over once. We're going to go in that back loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and now a half double. I'm going to go in the back loop, pull through all 3, and then the last one here, there's 1 stitch right there left. I'm going to single crochet into that stitch. It's kind of hard to see, get to, but we can do it. Go. I'll turn this where I can see it better. There we go. In there. Oh, I looped over. I shouldn't have looped over. This is a single. No loop over. There we go. And then there we go. All right. I didn't get my tail locked in that one. I was fiddling with the stitch, so it was kind of hard to see. All right. So we've made our leaf, but this leaf has a stem on it, and so we need to make that stem. So what we'll do is we're going to do a slip stitch right here at the end. Just kind of pull ourselves together. I actually think, as I'm looking at it, hang on just a second. Where do I need that slip stitch? Yeah, that's where I needed it. Right there at the end. All right. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain stitches now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now one thing that I did on my sample was I made an opening right here at the end so that I could string through there. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to skip some stitches, and I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to start in this 4th stitch, and I'm going to do again in the back bump there, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Means I just go in come through and finish it off. Let's do that 2 more times. One more time. And then I'm going to slip stitch at the end, and I'm going to come right back here to this guy and slip stitch right here. And that's going to help me get it all nice and locked in and tidy. There we go. And I've got a tail. I'm going to clip that. Alrighty. So there's my leaf. And I'm going to take this, and it's time to stitch this in. And I always like to stitch in through the back. So I'm going to push that through to the other side there. Go. And I had another tail. There it is. So I've got these 2 tails, and I need to weave these ends, okay? So to do that, I'm going to start by taking and just carefully going in the back here. So I'm going to show you. When I go in, you can just barely see it on this side. It's not like I'm going that way. You don't want to do that, okay? You want to go inside these stitches right here, okay? So I'm going to go inside with my needle, and then I'm just going to take my yarn and push it through the eye of the needle. And sometimes it's a little difficult, but if you need to, a trick that you can do is fold over your yarn and make it really flat and then push it through, and that goes in real easy as well. Okay, so I'm going to pull this through. Now when I do this, this one's going to come off my needle because it's so short. So I went in one, and now I'm going to pick up this right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a little stitch right there. I'm going to pick it up into that, and then I'm going to go back in to where I started. And again, I'm just going to take and push my yarn up through there. And pull through. Go. And then one last time, and this is going to lock it in. All right. So originally I went down right here. Well, this time I want to pick up just a little bit before that and go right back down it. And I'm actually going to go a little bit further. I'm just going to keep following some stitches where I can go under. And then I'm going to pull it through. You see how that's a little tight for me, but I'm just carefully pulling it, and I got it. So at this point, I can trim off my tails. What I like to do when I trim off my tails is I like to pull it a little bit where it comes out from in there. And then I'm going to carefully trim them so I don't trim my project. And then when I pull that back, it sucks that tail right back up in there. All right. That's our first leaf. We have completed our first leaf. And so now we're going to work on the second leaf. All right, so the next leaf we're going to do is this oak leaf. And it's got some fun pattern to it. And so we're going to get to do a lot of different stitches here to be able to get this pattern. The first stitch we're going to start with is the chain, and we're kind of used to that. That is our foundational stitch. So I've got some yarn here, got my crochet needle. I'm using an H. I don't think I mentioned that before, but this is an H, and it says 5 millimeter. You can use whatever crochet hook you want to use. The bigger the hook you use, the bigger the leaf. The smaller the hook, the smaller the leaf. So if you want to make a teeny tiny leaf, you would start with a really small hook and a lot thinner yarn. If you want to make a really chunky leaf, you would get a much larger hook and a thicker yarn. That would help you make a big chunky leaf. All right, so for this one, like I said, we're going to start with that chain. So the first thing I'm going to do is get that slip knot to start. There it is. And then I'm going to chain 12. That's going to be my starting. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Alrighty. And if you ever lose count, you can always come back and you just count the V's. So that would be, you can see those V's there. There's a V, one side and then the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So from the end here, what I'm going to do is I'm first going to do a single crochet. I'm going to do 4 of them. And we're going to do just like the other. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to look at the back. Okay. And I'm going to skip that very first one right there at the hook. And I'm going to do this one right here, this second one. Okay. So I'm going to go in there. I'm doing a single crochet. So that means I just go in, loop over, and pull through. I'm going to do that 4 times. That's number 1, number 2, number 3, and the last one is 4. I'm going to go ahead and pull some yarn off here because the yarn keeps fighting with me and I don't want it to fight. So I'm just going to pull some off there. That's going to help me with my tension as well. All right, so we started off with our 4 single crochets in the back loops, and now we're going to follow that with 4 half doubles. And remember, a half double is loop over once. I'm going to go in that back loop, pull through, and then I'm going to pull through all 3 loops at one time. Let's do that 3 more times. So this is number 2 and number 3. And last stitch, loop over, go in through that back loop, pull through, and pull through all 3. All right, so we've got 4 singles, 4 half doubles, and now I'm going to do 3 double crochets till I get to the end here. So let's do that. Loop over. I'm going to go in, pull through. I'm going to pull through 2. Sorry, yarn's in my way. And pull through 2 again. Let's do that again. Loop over, through the back loop, pull through 2, and pull through 2 again. Last one in this chain here, as we see it in this back hoop here, I'm going to pull through 1, pull through 2, and again in 2. Now we need to go around the end here. You see it goes around the end, and so we need to do that. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to keep crocheting in this same spot. So I'm going to put 5 more double crochets in that same place that we have already got this one. So it'll end up with a total of 6 in this one loop. And it's double crochet, so again, go in and pull through 2, pull through 2, that's 1. Two, 3, 4, and last one, go in, pull through, pull through 2, and pull through 2. All right, so I've rounded the corner. I've got my 5 double crochets in there, and now I'm gonna come around and start working on this side right here. And I'm gonna work in the back loops for the same reason that we did earlier. On the other leaf, we worked in the back loops twice, and that gave us a nice line down the middle. We're gonna do that again. And again, I'll try to crochet this tail in, but if things get a little goofy, then I won't, and that's gonna be okay. All right, so right now, when I look here where I'm at, I can see a V and a V. You can see those down the way. I'm going to start in this very first one that I see right here. And if you look over here, I've got the double crochets on the back side. Well, I'm going to put 2 double crochets, one in that stitch and one in this stitch, in the back loops. So here we go, loop over. I'm going to go in to that stitch, and I'm going to just lay that tail over so I can catch it in my stitch, pull through 2, and pull through 2 again. Loop over. I'm going to go in this next back stitch, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Okay. So now I am going to move to the half doubles, and so for the next 4 stitches, I'm going to do half double crochets. Loop over, go in that back stitch. Sorry if I just got off camera, I just realized I might have been kind of scooching out of camera. Apologize for that. All right, come through all 3. And let's do that 3 more times. In that back stitch, pull through all 3, yarn over in the back stitch, pull through all 3, one more time, into the back stitch, pull through, and pull through all 3. Let's get some more yarn. Okay, and now we're going to finish it off with 4 single crochets. Now, if you'll look, that's what I have left. I have 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So let's go ahead and finish this off with 4 single crochets down to the end. That means I go in that back loop, pull through, and pull through both. Go in that back loop for the next one, pull through. My tail's trying to play along too. And again, and the last one. I lost my stitch. There it is, right there. Okay, and through there, pull through, and pull through. All right, so now I have this shape, and this is the base, and there's that line that we created right down the middle. And now I need to go onto the other side so that I can make the bumps of the leaf. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to do a slip stitch right down here in the end. There's a stitch right here, you can see the V, and I'm just going to slip stitch right in front of it. There we go. So there I am, I slip stitch right in front. Now, I've been working in back loops. That's all I've done so far on the other leaf and on this leaf as well. But we're going to change now because we don't need that ridge again. So we're gonna, now when we crochet, we're gonna go into both loops. So instead of going in just the back, we're gonna go through both of them. And that's the normal way we would crochet. Whenever we do a front or a back loop, we do it because we want a certain effect that it gives us. So in this first one, I'm gonna do a single crochet. So go in under both, pull through again. Now, in this next stitch, this one right here, I'm going to do 2 doubles. So yarn over, go into the stitch, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Let's do another. Yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Alrighty, so I did my 2 doubles, and now I'm going to chain 2. So that's 1 and 2. And then I'm going to slip stitch in the same stitch that I did these 2 double crochets. So slip stitch, remember, I just go in, I pull through, and then I pull it all the way through. All right, so that completes the first little bump. And then we're going to go to the next stitch, and we're going to do a single crochet. And in the next stitch, I'm going to do a half double. So yarn over, go under both of those loops there, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 at once. Okay. Now in the next stitch, I'm going to do 3 doubles. So that's 1 double, a second double, and a third double. And then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to go back down into the same stitch and slip stitch. So it means I went in, I'm not going to yarn over, I'm going to pull it all the way through. Okay. Now in the next stitch, so this is where all this has happened. There's, see that big hole right there. In this next stitch, I'm going to do a single crochet. In the next one, I'm going to do a half double. In the next one, I'm going to do a double. And then in the next one, I'm going to do a double, another double, and then I'm going to chain 2 and slip stitch back in the original. This is like that first hump that we made. Okay. Now, next, in the next stitch right here, I'm just going to do a slip stitch. In the next stitch, I'm going to do a single crochet and a half double and a double crochet, all in the same stitch. Okay. All right, so we finished that side, and now I'm going to slip stitch into this very first stitch right here on the opposite side, and in the same stitch I'm going to do a single crochet. Next, in the next one, I'm going to do 2 doubles. So there's 1 double, there's a second double, and then I'm going to chain 2. That's 1 and 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch back in the same stitch that I put those 2 double crochets in. I'm going to slip stitch in the next stitch. And then in the following one, I'm going to put a single crochet. Okay. I'm going to put a half double in the next stitch. And then 3 doubles in the following stitch. So right here, I'm going to go in and do 1, 2, and 3. Then I'm going to chain 3 this time. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to slip stitch back in the same stitch that those 3 double crochets are in. Then I'm going to slip stitch in the next stitch, single crochet in the next one, half double in the next one, double crochet in the next stitch, and then in this next one I'm going to put 2 doubles, 1 and 2, and then I'm going to chain 2 and slip stitch back into the same stitch. So there's 1 chain, 2 chain, back into the same stitch. I'm going to do a slip stitch. I'm going to slip stitch the next one. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to do a single crochet, a half double, and a double. All right. So now we're making it around to the other side of the leaf, and I'm going to do the opposite. So in this stitch I had a single, a half double, and a double. So in the next one, I'm going to do a double, a half double, and a single. Oops, I just did a half double. Let's try that again. All right, the double, half double, and a single. Okay. Then we're going to slip stitch. Then I'm going to do another slip stitch. And I'm going to chain 2. Then in the same stitch, I'm going to do 2 doubles. The next stitch, I'm going to do a double. In the next stitch, I'm going to do a half double. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to do a single. And then I will slip stitch. And slip stitch again in the next one. Remember, we're mirroring what we've done, right? Hang on, I lost my, there we go. Okay. Let's do that slip stitch. And So now I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to do 3 double crochets in here. That's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do a half double in my next stitch. And a single in the next, followed by a slip stitch and another slip stitch. Then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to double crochet, in that same one where the slip stitch and the chain 2 came up, I'm going to do 2 doubles right there in that same one. That's 1 and 2. And then I'm going to do a single crochet. And then I'm going to slip stitch right here at the end. This is like the beginning stitch of the next one. I'm going to go ahead and put a slip stitch in that one. It's the beginning stitch for this hump. All right. So we've got our leaf, but we need a stem. So to do that, I'm going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now again, I want to make that little loop on the end. So to do that, I'm going to skip the first 3. I'm working in those back loops again. So there's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to start in this 4th one, and I'm going to put a single crochet. And turn it where I can see. There we go. I'm going to put another single crochet. It's my second one. And then a 3rd. And then one more back here. Wait. Make sure I got, oh, it's this one right here. There we go. And then to finish it off, I'm going to go back into right here in the middle. There's a hole there. I'm going to just do a slip stitch. I've connected all together, and I'm going to pull out a tail, and now I'll weave my ends back in. And I showed you how to do that, so I won't go through that again, but the same process on weaving in the tails. But that's our second leaf. All right, our last leaf is going to be our maple leaf. And this one's going to start off differently. We've started off with chains for all these others, and this one's actually going to start off with a magic circle. So let's set this aside and let's do a magic circle. Now, if this is something that you have a hard time with, I understand. Sometimes I have a hard time with this one too. And if it's just too much and you're like, Tanya, I cannot do the magic circle, that's okay. You can instead do 3 or 4 chains, get yourself started, and then you slip stitch back in. And I'm going to show you what that looks like real quick. So let's say that you're like, I can't do the magic circle. Please, no, I don't get it. I feel you on that one very, very strongly. So you would just chain like 1, 2, 3, depending on how loose your chains are. 3 might be okay. I'm going to do 4 just to be on the safe side, and then go back into your first chain and slip stitch. And then you're going to work right in the middle of that, okay? Now, if you just did 3, your hole would be smaller, so that's up to you, but don't go any smaller than 3 chains, okay? So if that's what you need to do, perfectly okay, absolutely acceptable. There are lots of people in the crochet world who've been crocheting for a long time who much prefer to do a chain over a magic circle. I like the magic circle because it will tighten everything up and your hole just disappears. Okay, so the trick on the magic circle, and this is the thing that I struggled with. First, I was laying it over my hand this way, and that was not right. You need to lay it over this way where the tail is pointing towards you. Okay, you see that tail? It's pointing towards me right now. And I'm going to loop over my 2 fingers, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to loop again, only I'm going to crisscross this time. And I'm using my ring finger to hold it, not real tight, just hold it in place. So now I'm going to come under this first one. I'm going to grab the second one and twist around, and I'm going to go ahead, grab that one again, and I'm going to do a slip knot right there. And that's how you start it, okay? Now, my tail right now is right here, and a lot of times you want to try to work your tail into your stitches, much like we did on the other leaves. But if that is just really frustrating and difficult, that's okay. You want to be able to leave some of it out anyway so you can pull it. So we can always weave in ends. That's not a problem. Weaving in ends, we can do that one, right? Okay, so here we are. We've got our magic circle, or if you chose to do the chains, you would have done your chains, slip stitched, and now we're going to start together, whichever way you went. Choose your own adventure on this, okay? So we're going to chain 2, so that's 1 and 2. And now we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry, I'm counting my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to crochet 9 double crochets into our magic circle or into the center of your chain ring that you made. Okay, so this 1, 2. Gotta move my yarn. It's on the wrong side of my workspace. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 'll leave a little bit of this tail out. There we go. 9, and that was it. Okay, so because we did that chain 2 in the beginning, it counts as a double crochet for us. So we're going to count it like it's a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did 9 double crochets plus our chain 2, so that means we have 10 stitches across here. I'm going to pull this out a little bit so I don't lose that. And now if you did the magic circle, now you take the tail and just start pulling it. And it pulls all tight together, okay? See that? Now I've got a really long tail there that will weave in anyway, right? We've got to weave those ends. No problem, that's part of crocheting. And I'm going to get back in, loop on there. And now we're going to slip stitch back in through this first stitch, okay? And I'm going to go in both of that, okay? There we go, and slip stitch. All right, so now I have my circle. This is our foundation and where we're going to start from, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do in this next stitch right here, I'm going to put several stitches. I'm going to put a single, I'm going to put a half double and a double. Then I'm going to go back down. I'm going to put a half double in the same stitch and a single. Okay, all of that in the same stitch. Okay, I'm going to skip the next stitch. So this one, I'm not going to put anything in it. I'm going to move over to this one and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a single, a half double, a double, a half double, and a single. Okay. Then I'm going to skip the next stitch and I'm going to, in the same thing I did over in these two. So I skip this one. In this stitch, I'm going to do that single crochet, half double, double, a half double again, and a single. Skip, and then the next one, you guessed it, single, half double, double, half double, and single. One more time, I'm going to skip, and in this one, I'm going to do a single, a half double, a double, a half double, and a single. And then I'm going to slip stitch in the next one to finish off that row. Now look at this. This is not the cutest thing. It is adorable little guy right here as it is. It's like a little bitty star. It could be a little bitty flower if you wanted it to be. Isn't that just adorable? By itself, you could finish your project right now if you wanted a little star or a little flower, and you'd be doing great. I mean, it's just so stinking cute. I love it. But we're going to keep going, and we've got 2 more rounds to make on this, and that's going to really define that maple leaf shape. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is a single crochet, and that one's going to be in the round before. We had the single crochet, the half double, the double. Well, in that one that is the single crochet, we're going to put a single crochet in the top of it. So single crochet. Then in the next one, in the half double, I'm going to put a half double on it. So half double. But in this double crochet at the very end, I'm going to put 3 double crochets. So that's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Now on the other side, I'm going to come back down. I'm going to put a half double in my half double and a single in my single. Okay. And then I'm back to a single, and I'm going to put a single in it, a half double. Oops. There we go. And then in the last one here that was a double crochet, the 3 double crochets. We're going to repeat this pattern all the way to the end until we get back to the beginning. And a single. So that finished off the second one. So now we're going to do this third one. Again, a single, a half double, and a double. Oops, hang on, let's try that again. 3 doubles. There's 1. 2 and 3, and then we're going to do that half double and a single. So now we've got 3 done. We've got 2 more to go. A single, half double, double, and do that 2 more times in the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, half double and a single. Now the last one is going to be a single, half double, oops, try again, going to do 3 doubles, 1, 2 and 3, half double and a single, and then I'm going to slip stitch in the beginning here. There we go. And now that little star has just gotten bigger, and again, a star or a little flower is just so cute. We have 1 more round to go, and this is the one that's really going to make this maple leaf, boom, look like a maple leaf, because we're going to do a special stitch. Now, I don't know the proper way to pronounce this. Picot stitch, picot stitch, picot stitch, P-I-C-O-T is how it's spelled. So that's a stitch that we're going to learn here. We're going to do that one, and it's going to give this little bitty point to the tip of our leaf. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in the very first stitch, just like we've been doing. Okay, so single crochet in that first one. Then I'm going to do 2 half doubles in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. Then in the next stitch, I'm going to do 2 doubles. So that's 1, 2, and then I'm going to do 1 in the end here. That's 1. And then I'm going to do 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to, right here at this spot right here, I'm going to slip stitch in. This is that special stitch I was telling you about. And then I'm going to go back to 2 double crochets in my next stitch. So I'm coming back down the other side now. So that's 1 and, oops, 2. Then I'm going to do 2 half doubles, 1, 2, then I'm going to do a single. All right, we're going to repeat that all the way around. So we're going to do a single crochet, 2 half doubles, then in this stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets, oops, and then in the next stitch we're going to do that special one. So we're still going to start with the double crochet, Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go back into this space right here. It's at the top. And I'm going to go in and slip stitch. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. A half double in the next stitch. And a single. And that completes the second one. Okay. I'm just going to wind off some of this yarn here. Ball keeps trying to chase me. Going to go in here with a single crochet, a half double in the next stitch, 2 doubles in the next stitch, now it's time for that special stitch, so we're going to do a double. We're going to chain 3, 2 and 3. Going to slip stitch right here in the top. Pull that on through. And then 2 doubles in the next. A half double in the following stitch, and a single. Now we've got 3 done, and you can already see those points. It's really made that nice point on the leaf. Okay, 2 more times we're going to do the same pattern. So it's a single crochet, a half double, excuse me, 2 half doubles. You know what? I think I didn't do that right back here. Let me pull back out. You know, whenever I have to pull back out, I didn't even do it right here. Did I? Oh, no, I got my 2 half. No, that's 2 doubles. We got to go all the way back to here. So, excuse me. Let me go back here. What I always say when I have to pull out part of my project because I did something wrong is it's a good thing I like crocheting. You know, it just gives me more practice at it. Okay, I got those 2 half doubles in there. Now I'm getting caught back up again. There's 2 doubles in the following, the special stitch, which is the double, 1, 2, and 3, and back in the top of there for that special stitch. And then we're going to go in to the next stitch, just right here. It's tempting to go into that one, and I almost thought I was supposed to, but then I realized that's where I am right now. So I need to go here with 1 double and 2 doubles, and then we're going to do the 2 half doubles. Gonna get it right this time, and then a single. Gonna do, now we'll start the pattern again with a single and 2 half doubles, then 2 doubles, and then we've got another double. This leads into that special stitch with a chain 3. Get that last chain there, and then I'm going to slip stitch right in that area, right there, the top of that chain 3. And now I'm going to go into the next stitch with 2 doubles, the next stitch with 2 half doubles, and then a single. One more time we're going to do this. a single, 2 half doubles, two doubles, time for that special stitch. Starts off with a double, then I'm going to chain 3, then I'm going to come back in to the top of the right here where the chain 3 started and do a slip stitch, and now I'm going to do in the next stitch right here 2 doubles, two half doubles in the next one, and a single in this last one. Pull that out so we can look at it. So at this point, I've got a nice star. So if you were wanting to make a star, you've got a star. I can see this being a cute little ornament at Christmas, and you know, you could put a little hanger on top of it because you've got that little spot right there where you could you know, chain up and make a little hanger, or you could just put a little decorative hanger, maybe with a bead or something on there. That would be awfully cute for a little Christmas star. But we're going to make it into the leaf, and so we need to make a stem. And so at this point, we're going to chain 9. Okay, so I think before I do that, I need to slip stitch. Yep, that's what my pattern says. I need to slip stitch. So I got that single crochet, and I'm going to come into this spot right here at the beginning. If I can get my needle in, it's kind of small. There we go. And I'm going to slip stitch right in there. And that, what it does when I slip stitch there, it really finishes it off nicely. I don't know if you can see, it's just a much cleaner look than it was before. So I've got that slip stitch in there, and now I'm going to chain my 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, just like we've done on all the others, I'm going to skip the first 3. I'm turning it over and I'm looking at these back humps, and I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start on the 4th one, and I'm going to single crochet all the way back down. So that's 1, and that's a second one. There's 3. 4, 5, I've got one more right here, and 6. And now I'm going to go back in again, and I'm going to slip stitch to finish it off. Join everything back together. Okay. A little long of a tail. Put that off. And so now I have this tail I'll need to work in, and I would work it in the back. And then I've got the tail from that center that I would work in as well. But now I have my leaf. So once you have all your leaves created, what I did for this to make a little garland is I chained, and you can make this chain as long as you want to. Like, you've got a lot of leaves, you can make it long. I made my chain 100 chains, and that gave me the opportunity to space out these 5 leaves. And they have about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 or 4 inches. You know, like this one's a big leaf, so I left more room in between it than these 2. But you have lots of room to space it out depending upon how long you make your chain. And then you can just hang it up somewhere. Where I have it hanging, I have a clip right here in the middle, and then I have a clips here on the ends, and so it does a nice little swag. It's just super cute. So there you go. And you can make these leaves for other things, not just for fall. You can make different colors for fall. You can make it for any season. We're going to learn, hopefully in the future, some flowers. And if you want to learn now, there's some awesome tutorials on YouTube where you can learn. I just don't even want to talk about that. All right, so fall. So you've got a great little fall decor if you want to use it for that. A coaster if you want it to be a coaster. Remember, this can also just be a star if we don't do that stem, which is super cute. He almost looks like a little starfish. He's just so adorable. And as we went through it, you saw the different sizes of stars that you could have as well. So that's going to be our tutorial for today. We've got the 3 different type of leaves and how you can join them. I hope that you guys have a great time crocheting this, and I can't wait to work with you again next month for our next Kids Club Crochet.